Good morning. You listen to FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kim Parr. This morning, my guest is Tom Borders and Rick Moon with Propex. Guys, how you doing?
Doing great.
Good to be with you. Propex, as most people know, is the largest independent supplier of backing. Most of your products are made in the USA, although you are a global company. And Tom, your position is business director for the backing business, and Rick, you're account executive, right?
That's right.
I want to talk to you about this announcement we ran on Floor Daily the other day about your expansion in the state of Georgia. Get into that in a minute. But before we get into that, let's tell the audience a little bit about the state of the backing business.
Well, thanks, Kemp. Right now, we're very, very pleased with the way that the backing business is for us. Currently, the market has grown very lightly, I guess, over the past year and past 3 months. But what we've seen is that when you look at the multifamily housing market, it has grown rapidly. And so any customers or any carpet manufacturers that have been selling into that market, they have grown a lot more rapidly. And we have benefited from that in that those customers or those carpet mills that satisfy that market actually do buy from the merchant market. In other words, they are not backward integrated into backing. So we've seen much more growth in carpet backing.
So what you're telling me, and I would expect this to be true, that your volume is growing faster than the market. Most people know who studied this backing business that the two biggest players, actually the three biggest players if you count BOU because they've always made their own backing, but they're all backwards integrated. And then you see these mid-sized mills like Engineered and Phoenix, and there's many more like that are growing fast, taking some share, and so they don't make their own backing, and so that's good for you since you're an independent backing supplier, right?
Exactly.
All right, so you're expanding in Georgia, and I've read your release. It's talking about the primary reason for this expansion in Hazelhurst. Many people might know Hazelhurst in Georgia is a little bit south of Macon, and it's one of your major plants, but you're expanding there because your ISIS product is doing well, and up to this point, you've been making that product in Germany, right?
That's exactly right. We're very, very pleased with ISIS, and we've been making it in Grow Now, and have reached the point where we're near sold out in Grow Now and are required basically to expand into the U.S. And one reason we're expanding in the U.S. is, one, we've got a diversified customer base. Much of our customers are in the U.S., and putting the plant here in Hazelhurst surely does make sense. One thing that we're really pleased with is we already have the infrastructure in place in Hazelhurst as we make carpet backing there in, day out, and so we can just go ahead and add equipment to that plant.
Okay, and this ISIS product, backing is basically can be segmented into primary and secondary, but this is a primary, and it's targeted for the commercial market. Tell us a little bit more about the benefit of ISIS, if you would.
ISIS is the first woven PET backing. It is post-consumer recycled 85% plus, and it just has taken off. We introduced it in 2011. Just like all new products in this product life cycle, it was in the introductory phase, and in 2012, we just saw it take off, and now I would call it in the growth phase, and it has done very, very well. Rick, would you go into some of the benefits?
Well, sure. All backings that go underneath a tufting needle bar are very tough fabrics, and you can't say anything bad about anybody that can make a product that will do that. ISIS, however, is a woven polyester which can stand up to the heat later in downstream processes for making tile, but it also tufts extremely well. It's those tufting attributes that most people have fallen in love with, and has really been the success of it. These guys that make tile, the tile business, they're very conservative people. There's no secrets that tile's had a long and rocky road, and once you get something working, it's pretty tough to break into that market. You have to prove yourself, and you have to have some real advantages. And ISIS has done that, where it's been given the chance and to run hard and put through its paces. It's come through as a shining example. As far as stitch holding and tuftability, able to wet process it, it's going to bring different economies into the manufacturing of tile. It's got so much going for it that several customers, we call them customers, several carpet mills have made the decision to go with ISIS. Others have not. So it's still one of those things where we have to prove ourselves all the way through the system. But I think as more and more people run it, more and more people will come over to it.
All right, Rick, let me catch my audience up just a minute. You jumped into talking about tile. Is ISIS primarily for the modular tile business?
Yeah.
Okay. And up to this point, most of your modular tile has been produced with a primary that's been a spun-bonded non-woven.
Right.
And so the advantage of a woven versus a spun-bonded is the processing, it holds the tough better? Or tell us a little bit about that.
Well, as I said, anybody that can run anything through a tufting needle is doing something pretty good. That's like putting your product into the mouth of a great white shark and having it come out on the other side in one piece. So non-wovens are great products. They've been a staple for the industry for a very long time. They have their place and they have their advantages. There are certain attributes that a woven has that a non-woven doesn't. They are inherently different. It's just as far as the stitch holding in the tufting process, wovens have demonstrated that they hold the stitch better. The tensions applied by modern patterning devices on tufting machines are very tough. The secret to making a pattern on a tufting machine, Kemp, is controlling the lows. You got to have enough tension to hold that tuft in where you can hide that low, where you can allow the face to do what it does and not see it. So that's where you really have trouble when you do this on a non-woven. You pull it real tight to hide it, and it pops out the back. With the woven, we're able to control each individual end of yarn so much better.
All right, so let's go back to this expansion in Hazelhurst. What's the schedule for this?
We expect the line to be up and running next summer, 2014.
And you'll continue to make this product both in Germany and with the new equipment in Georgia.
That's exactly right.
All right, guys, good to talk to you again. We've been talking to Tom Borders and Rick Moon with Propex about their expansion in Georgia for ISIS, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.